You told yourself you stop snacking, and yet you find yourself rushing to the grocery store late at night, trying to make it there before it closes. You don't even know what you want, and yet you're back in the snack aisle once again, pacing back and forth, overwhelmed by the options. If this sounds like you, I will show you the 3 things you can do immediately to finally get the snack monkey off your back and stop your fridge from calling you late at night. First, stop eating carbs in the morning. Immediately stop it. Most of you wake up and eat straight carbs for breakfast. You eat pancakes, waffles, oatmeal, bread. All these things are just pure carb sources. Most of your meal in the morning is going to be straight carbs for most of you people. That's the worst thing you can do if your goal is to hold off your sugar craving. Because what happens is you essentially spike your blood sugar and your insulin levels, and then they're going to crash eventually. And when they crash, guess what? You're going to crave those things again. So even for complex carbs like oatmeal, they still spike your blood sugar just at a slower rate. Because you're eating just the carbs. That's the problem here. The carbs alone is the problem, not the carbs per se. So if you eat just complex carbs, they will also spike your blood sugar. It just happens gradually. You understand? So therefore, when you start the day with a carb-heavy meal, you're going to continuously crave carbs throughout the day. So what to do? Good question. What you're going to do from now on, this is the solution to the problem. You're going to either only eat protein and fats for breakfast, which is the second preferred choice, or you're going to skip breakfast entirely. Yes, I said it. Skip breakfast.
Oh no, but I have to eat. Breakfast is the most important meal today.
No, it's not. That's a lie that was spread by the Kellogg's company. Kellogg's, yes, the #1 breakfast brand in the world, made up this lie during the marketing campaign back in the day. Because guess what? They wanted to sell more product. What do you eat for breakfast? Some of you guys eat Eggos, right? Frosted Flakes. That's all Kellogg's. So they wanted to sell more product. So they lied to you and told you that breakfast is the most important meal. It is not. You will survive if you skip breakfast. That's actually the preferred choice because it's going to be easier for you to not crave any sugar later on in the day. But if you have to eat breakfast, if you must only eat protein and fats. I used to be the same way. I used to always eat oatmeal for breakfast with like berries and some honey. And every time I ate that for breakfast, I always crave sugar like crazy. Like I literally, after a couple hours, at the most 3 hours, I would start craving it again. On the days I would skip breakfast entirely or I would eat eggs, I would always not have as much of a craving. Like the days I ate carbs first thing in the morning, I would always have the worst day. Like I would have the worst diet that day. I'll be less disciplined, because just the cravings of the carbs in the morning just take over. If you're really trying to overcome your sugar craving, either skip breakfast or only eat protein and fats. If it's protein and fats, I would suggest you eat like something like eggs with some ground beef or some chicken. I like to go with ground beef, some eggs, ground turkey, some eggs. That's usually the combination I go with. For breakfast, if I eat breakfast. So when you first start doing this and you switch over to this diet where you start skipping breakfast or you start eating only protein and fats for breakfast, what's gonna happen is you're still gonna want to eat sugary things throughout the day. And you have to listen to your body at this point. So when you're done with your breakfast, after a couple hours, you're going to want to eat something sweet again. And it's not because you crave sugar. You have to listen to your body here. You're going to be eating out of habit. So to figure out if you're actually hungry or you're eating out of habit, I always do this. You're sitting there hungry, drink 500 to 700 milliliters of water, and then sit down and really ask yourself, am I actually hungry still? And most times the answer will be no. So if the answer is no, then guess what? You go about your day. You keep moving, you don't eat anything, and you move on. And if you're actually hungry, right? If you're actually hungry, you're going to have prep meals. The easiest way to not follow your diet is you don't know what you're going to eat today. If you wake up every morning basically guessing what you're going to eat, it's so easy to eat nonsense. Every morning you wake up, you have to already have in store what you're going to eat. You have to already plan your meal before it happens. If you're trying to get your meals right on the day off, you're never going to stick to it because it's going to be always easier to just grab a bag of chips or grab some chocolate over cooking the new meal. That's why I always tell everyone to prep meals because you can just heat it up. The easier you make it to stick to your diet, the more likely it is that you'll stick to diet. So if you have to make food every single day, you're going to feel lazy on a couple of days. And when you feel lazy, guess what? You're going to go to the store or you're going to grab the chips bag or whatever. Whenever you get lazy, you will also have less willpower. So you can do whatever you can to essentially ruin the diet. So on those days, you have to have your prep meals already ready to go so you can stay on track. Second point, you're going to eat all of your carbs, preferably oats and potatoes, like complex carbs, and ideally some vegetables. If I could give you a suggestion, I would pick vegetables that are high in fiber because it's all going to help you stay full. All these things that are with fiber and the complex carbs, they're all going to help you stay full. Around 4 hours before bedtime. All the carbs for the day, you pile them up into 4 hours before bedtime. So your last meal is going to be a very carb heavy meal. You're still going to eat protein and fats, but it's going to be a very carb heavy meal. You're going to take away your carbs from all the other meals, from your breakfast and your lunch, and you're going to put all the carbs for the day into your last meal. The reason this works is because by pushing the carbs to the end of the day, having high fiber in it, having a lot of vegetables in it, complex carbs, what you're basically doing is you're going to ensure that your digestion is going to be slowed. The reason I said 4 hours before bedtime is because you're going to digest most of the food before bedtime. So it won't interrupt your actual sleeping pattern, and the remaining one's going to go over to the night. It's going to be harder for you to have late night craving because you're going to be satiated from the slow digestion from the carbs and the high fiber vegetables. Plus, protein is a very satiating food source. So all these things play a role in keeping you full and hunger free for the entire night. You know those late night trips to the fridge, those happen because your blood sugar level drops at night. If you timed your meals the wrong way, your blood sugar is going to drop at night and you will wake up with the biggest cravings of your life. So to avoid this, we're going to go the other way. We're going to eat the complex carbs and we eat the high fiber vegetables towards the end of the day. Keep us satiated throughout the night. That combined with the protein is going to guarantee you to stay full throughout the night. What I used to do, I used to eat this big meal 2 hours before bedtime. Well, what happened is that I would literally be so full that I wouldn't be able to sleep properly. So that's how pushing it back more and back more until I landed on around 4 hours, where it was basically the ideal time where I still would not have any hunger before bed and it would last me throughout the night as well. If you have trouble figuring out, what's the ideal time to eat this, right? If it's 4 hours for you or maybe 3 or 5 or whatever, who knows? If you eat the meal 4 hours before bedtime and you find yourself still hungry like an hour before bed, that means it was too far away from your actual bedtime. So you want to basically move it closer to your bedtime so that you can still be full while you're awake, but not so full that you can't sleep anymore. That's the sweet spot. The way to do this is you have to fix the variables. So you have to fix the meal and just change the time. You can't change the time and the meal size at the same time, right? So fix the meal size, have the same meal size every time, and change the time so you can actually track which works for you best. Because obviously you all have different bodies and different digestion and different metabolism. So you might be able to digest more or faster than me or slower than me, right? So you might have to adjust the time window, make it fit your body and your sleeping needs. Third step, you will eat all your fruits around 1 to 2 hours before going to bed. I don't know why I'm saying this because I'm sure some of you guys don't eat fruit at all, which is a big mistake, which I will cover in an upcoming video. And then the rest of you guys probably don't eat fruit because of fruit sugar. Listen to me, little fraud. You had no problem eating fried Oreos at the state fair last summer. You had no problem eating a tub of ice cream last weekend. But now you want to come over here and tell me you want to draw a line at fruit sugars. Okay, that's why you look the way you look. So keep drawing lines at arbitrary fruit sugar nonsense and keep eating fried Oreos and see where that gets you. What differentiates fruit sugars from sugars you eat in Oreo and whatever else you guys eat is this. Fruit sugars, for one, is made up of fructose and glucose. Plus, the fruit comes with natural water content and comes with a lot of fiber. This combination makes it spike your blood sugar far, far less than Oreos and whatever else you guys eat. So because the fruit sugar isn't alone, it comes with a lot of fiber, water content. It releases into your bloodstream slower, which means it's not going to actually spike your blood sugar. It's going to keep it more stable. Eating Oreos is going to spike your blood sugar because Oreos are literally just refined sugars. That is the biggest difference between eating fruit sugars and eating any other kind of sugar, the refined sugars. Eating all this fruit 2 hours before bedtime has 2 prime benefits. The first one is because you can digest it faster than like a big meal, you'll be able to eat it far closer to your actual bedtime. And 2, you have something sweet at the time you usually have the most cravings possible. Usually before bedtime, the cravings start kicking in and you're getting ready to ruin all the work you did for the entire day by just, giving in. So by eating the fruit bowl, you're keeping those little cravings like satisfied. In my experience, if you've been eating a high carb, high sugar diet for a long time, doing these things will not feel like it works at first because you're so used to your habits, you're still going to have the idea of craving sweet treats. It's not going to be your body craving them, it's going to be your mind craving them. As you keep sticking to this diet and this timing, your body will eventually almost forget what sugar tastes like. And then it's going to start looking forward to the fruit bowl because the fruit bowl is going to be the one chance it has that day to actually get any type of sugar in its body. If you do it long enough, maybe like a week, 2 weeks, usually that's when it starts working properly. I would say, depending on how long you've been doing this, like if you're doing it for like decades, then it's always going to take longer. But if you do if you have this like off times where you do eat bad for like a month or 2 months, whatever, usually after a week or 2 of doing this, start actually looking forward to that fruit bowl at the end of the day. Because you've been so deprived of carb, that fruit bowl is going to feel like the most sweet thing in the world after a couple of weeks. That's the goal you want to get to. But if you do it on the first day, I promise you, it's not going to feel like an actual replacement on the first day. You have to stick with it for a little bit to actually get the benefits. When you try this, you have to give it a chance. Do not do it for one day and say, it doesn't work, let me just stay fat. No, you do it for at least 2 weeks straight. And on the 14th day, you will not tell me if you actually feel it working or not. The longer you stick with it, the better the fruit will actually taste over time. That's how you end up sticking with the diet in the long term. So to sum up, first, you will not eat carbs in the morning. Remember the Kellogg story? You can skip breakfast if you're a tough one, if not protein and fats. Second, you're going to eat all your carbs in your last meal of the day, all of them. And thirdly, you're going to eat a fruit bowl between your last meal and your bedtime. Usually it's going to be 2 hours, hour before your bedtime. That's going to allow you to have this little sweet treat right before bedtime. That's not going to actually impact your sleep. So you get the best of both worlds and you're able to be full throughout the night while you have some sweets to basically tame your cravings for the night. Do this, stick with it for 2 weeks, and I can promise you will crave things less. Just follow this timing schedule and you should be able to hold off your cravings in the long term. Just try it out. That's it for the video. Any questions? Comment section.